Hello everyone, I am Fabian with crystalsavatar.com, and today we'll be continuing our Secret Mysteries of Ascension, Atlantis and Egypt playlist series, and this is part 4. And so today we'll be talking about a few things in the title of the video and then some. And so we go back to the third seeding, and the 5 starseed races that were there evolved for a while. And the races were located throughout, well, various regions of the globe. So a lot of, like you would say, our societies, cultures, civilization, history, ancient history, prehistory, okay, that's where some of these races coming from. So it was like, still the years are coming closer, but each developing service cultures from about 750,000 years ago down to about 75,000 years ago. And during this period of time, so, and the Earth-type lineage that we talked about, well, they developed like these divergent cultures of our history, extending from what is known as Africa, through regions of East Asia, North and South America, Central Europe, Egypt, and also into what is now called Iran. And through development of these like diversified cultures, the host race Earthites created a new cradle of civilization through which the root races, Earthseed races, and their companion Starseed races could be reseeded on Earth. And so this is what is part of our memory. This is part of what has been denied you. All of this has been twisted, distorted, taken out, new different stuff put in. It's a form of control, form of slavery. So knowledge is freedom. You are sovereign. You are free. Okay. It was the third seeding of races 3, 4, and 5. It began again via the Ark of the Covenant, under the direction, through the lineage of the Earthites. So our host race. So now the third race, or Antrian Starseed, right, began birthing about 75,000 years ago. Now we're getting out of these huge timescales. Now we're starting to get a little bit closer, right, to something we're familiar with. And and their companion, the Lemurian Earthseed race, right, 73,000 years ago, and they were seeded on like this landmass that existed in the area, well, now occupied by parts of the Pacific Ocean, and also within that long mountain chain along the region of the Andes Mountains. And the Brunei Starseed, that's the fourth race. They entered about 72,000 years ago, and this was in the lands that existed in the area now occupied by parts of the Atlantic Ocean, and into territories that became known as Egypt. And so that was obviously followed by their companion Earthseed race, the Atlanteans. But that was 70,000 years ago. And I have a good timeline on the website, a diagram that shows you actually it's sophisticated because we have to consider that we existed in more than one time cycle that is a repeating planetary time cycle. So it's an ancient past, but it's part of our past. This is what we're unlearning. This is what we're remembering. This is what we know. So now after the Atlanteans got here, so the 6 starseed races, the Melchizedeks. Well, they are the more advanced than those other aforementioned starseeds. And so because of that, sometimes these advanced Melchizedeks, they even act as what's called, for your DNA, host matrix. So, and sometimes the fallen angelics or ET races, when they want to go back to the light side, they can, but they have to use this with a host matrix. And, excuse me, a host matrix serves as like the surrogate morphogenetic field for, other races that have distorted DNA templates. And so it was used to realign the human genetic codes in preparation for ascension. And Melchizedeks appear within strains of all races as they became involved as a host matrix, surrogate morphogenic field for many of the races toward the end of the second seeding. We're here in the third seeding, but they already did work in the past, our past, but not really, because it's a different planetary time cycle. So we have all these different time cycles, all these different aspects and copies and versions and incarnations and reincarnations, all existing now. They're part of who you are, holy ones. So the Melchizedeks, they carry DNA strands 1 through 4. Now we're talking out of 12. Out of 12 strands, they have 1 through 4, the base codes of 5, not all of them, but the base codes, plus the imprint for strands 7 through 12. That's almost all of them, almost. And they are free of the seal of Halidor and the seal of Amente. And thus, they can undergo ascension, full transmutation of bodily form, in order to ascend. So if they're able to activate, like everyone else, you got to activate your DNA. Well, they have to activate the base tones, at least, within their fifth strand. So, and because of and we talk about base tones, overtones, and antiparticle universe and particle universe. So that's what's going on there. And because of their advanced genetic package, the Melchizedeks are able to ascend through the blue flame in the halls of Amente and experience teleportation. That's what stargates do. They teleport you to somewhere else, through the portals into the Taran environment, a whole nother reality density universe. So the fifth strand, Hibiru, Starseed, that's with us throughout, they enter through the Melchizedek host matrix into various positions throughout the globe at that time, about 68,000 years ago. And they're followed by their companion Earthseed race, because we've gone all between their sets, and they're with the Aryans 65,000 years ago. That's us. That's how, when we came during this seeding. So, and concentrations of our race, this race was seeded into regions near what now, the origins called the Black Sea. I've been by the Black Sea. I've swam in the Black Sea. So, and in the area of what became the Carpathian Mountains, which I've also drove through and spent time near, and it makes me trip out because I wasn't spiritual then, but I was somehow drawn to this area. Interesting. So, what was the true purpose of my trips there? I have photos from this beautiful place that has a spiritual significance, and now, so the Anu race were also seeded into the Egyptian race through the Melchizedek host matrix, because they've been helped different races, their morphogenic field about 68,000 years ago. This is why the Anu are also called, or referred to as Anu-Melchizedeks. And so, and it's important to say that because there's a distinction later when there's a negative version of the Anu. But I talked about the Anu in my previous video. Remember, in the treaty of El Anu, excuse me, this was a treaty. The Elohim agreed, to allow some of the Anunnaki strains, those bad ones, to hybridize with the human lineage so they could evolve. They're not, they're trying to be fair. Okay, you want your 12 strand? You want to get rid of your genetic mutations? Okay, you can do that. But you have to try, not to wipe out the human race lineage. The Anunnaki, what they do, because the negative Anunnaki have been trying, right, to wipe out our races in all of these seedings. In seeding 1, they attacked the original race. They attacked the Lemurians at that time, They attacked us again with the crystals, with the planetary energy. They're attacking us. Okay. So, but, this is what we've been fighting with since the first seeding, and this is what we're fighting with on Tara before the fall of humans down here. This is not new, I guess. The positive Anunnaki races, well, they're an original part of the Lyran race we came out of, the positive ones. The negative Anunnaki are a mutated version, just like there's mutated humans. Okay, there's a mutated Anunnaki, one of the good one. There's a bad Anunnaki, a good one. So, and well, it's been mutated from what's called an Anuhazi, and I've mentioned that before. The Anuhazi are a hominid cat race, like the ones from Avatar. Like, they look like this, they're giant like this, they're blue like that, they look like cats. Yes, hominids. So this looks like this disclosure almost of this, or giving kudos or credit to this ancient Anuhazi. So, but the core, the first founder race that every race in this time matrix came out of, and well, there was one host race, and it was an Elohim Christic family that created it. That was the Anuhazi race. So they're part of the Emerald Order, the Emerald Blue Flame. So they were density 4, which you call liquid light beings, avatars, where we're from as well. That's part of our DNA. And they downscaled into also lower matter density races. So there's lower versions of Anuhazi. And the Anuhazi hold the original 12-strand imprint. That they also hold the imprint for, the other 12 level of code. So that's 24 or more, up to the Ascended Master level. So the whole lineage, for everything, actually you don't need more than that. You don't need that much DNA to ascend. But anyways, that's overkill, right? But maybe not. Don't you want to be one of those magnificent 48-strand indigo children? So the Syrians and the Pleiadians, they're what make up everything. Everyone, those, even including those. And what happened to create a negative Anunnaki? You take an Anuhazi and you combine it with one of the race creations of the dark avatars, right? Of the fallen matrices, and you start mutating Anuhazi codes. All right, just like they put blocks and seals in our DNA, the dark ones play around and do similar things. You start unplugging the 8th, the 12th DNA strands, and the ability to hold 8 to 12 dimensions of consciousness. That's where you get an Anunnaki from. All of them are L families. And L is shorthand version for Elohim. You have your not fallen L's, and you have your fallen L's. Guardian angelic or fallen angelic. Okay? That's what this is all about. This is a family feud, in the Elohim territories. That's a little bit of where the Anunnaki came from. But, it's not just Anunnaki, is it, either, messing with us? We got the Draconians, are one of the, the reptilian races, dinoids, insectoid races, created by, first by the dark avatar matrices. And we got, because those are coming out of the gold flame. We have the blue-green flame, the gold flame, and the magenta pink flame. So this is different genetics. So that's their genetics, those type of races. And anything with wings is basically part from the gold flame wing things, seraphim wing things. So, but again, the Treaty of El Nu was between the positive Elohim and the negative Elohim, and it was agreed. Okay, so the Nephilim Anunnaki would not return to Earth, but were allowed to evolve in at least other systems. And, as a gift for their compromise, attempts would be made to create a new hybrid between the Anunnaki and this advanced Melchizedek Starseed. So that's good, because that's like an advanced Anunnaki now. And obviously the Melchizedek, it's a good Anunnaki. So what a lot of the other spiritual systems won't understand. Yeah, we're trying to help. We're trying to help even the negative side. Some of them want to come back. Some of them were being manipulated anyways. So it's like, we're trying to advance the spiritual aspects of their evolution too. But only if they have to at least, agree to uphold the law of one. That's reasonable. We're doing such a So it's like this new hybrid Melchizedek Anunnaki race was called the Anu-Melchizedek. So now, and it entered into Earth through combining this Melchizedek Starseed and with the Atlantean Egyptian subrace, you know, which was during the third seeding, our third seeding. So they have this combinations of races going on, hybrids. This is why you see like hyphenated names of races, because they're part this race and part that race. Oh, they're also part this race and that. So, and we talk about all their genetics and DNA. And the Treaty of El Anu, which I talked about, was created in order to, end the war at the time through agreements that were fair to everyone. So these Annu-Melchizedeks are Egyptians, and they prospered in Atlantis. That's where they focus and so many were migrating to like various parts of the globe too, and interbreeding with like other races. And the primary concentration of Anu-Melchizedeks remained in Atlantis, where like open lines of kind of like commerce is very, good time, golden time, or great, more finally positive time. So there was open lines of commerce with their positive, Syrian Anunnaki forefathers. It became like a standard way of life. Anunnaki on Earth. It was normal then. So, and the Anunnaki who had joined the Syrian Council, through the Treaty of El Anu, there's treaties, and that's why they're mixing. So, they're behaving for the time being, and so, and don't forget the Syrian Cantarians I talked about at the ending of that long video, and the Syrian blue races of Sirius B, which are called the Maharaji, Magi kings, Grail line, holy ones. So they also became like a primary motivating force within Atlantean culture, and the Pleiadian races of Density 1 assisted in the development. They were helping out the Lemurian culture, and every Earthseed has a Starseed, so they were helping the Atlantean Starseeds too. And so, man, look at this collaboration. The races are being affected and influenced by all of this extraterrestrial activity and communications and technologies. So it was the development of the Lemurian cultures, and and they are the star seeds. So the cultures all thrived under the influence of these advanced stellar races. And I that will be the end of today's video, because now we're starting to get more juicy, more interesting, more familiar topics, and we're going to be talking about these secrets and these real origins you haven't heard it in this way before. Understand? So we'll be probably talking about the advanced technologies and about these growing negative Templar Anunnaki in the next part, in part 5. So I love you guys, and this always helps me out when you guys please like my video. This is knowledge, this is codes, this is consciousness, this is part of an ascension process, and please like this video, show your support. If you guys want to help me out, I always put connections to donations from PayPal or whatever you want to help out, you guys. I love you so much, and this is you're why I do this. If you're an indigo, you also most likely have this burning desire to want to help, especially during the ascension period. And there's so much to know, so you can understand all of the bad things that are happening. So you will have this armor, this knowledge and mastery of energy. So this is where we're heading towards. I love you. Thank you for watching this long series. It's worth it. There's definitely a good reason to go through this realization. Take care of yourself, love others. See you on the next one. Peace. Namaste.